this gatekeeping stuff when it comes to alternative fashion, as well as like a couple of other things, really needs to stop. I'm seeing a lot of videos pop up about this like naturally alt look, and all it is just like people with piercings and dark hair. Now personally, a lot of the clothes that I have, including this top, were thrifted. But not everybody can find what they want in thrift stores right away, and not everybody can DIY things. There's no such thing as naturally alt, because the point of alternative fashion is to stand out. It is to dress up in a way that goes against the norm. With the rise in conservative fashion, as many people are calling it, which tends to just be more modest dresses, longer skirts, which I personally really like. Back in the COVID times, people often dressed up however they wanted, and they experimented more with their self-expression. You don't see that as much anymore. And sure, maybe some people found their styles and grew out of it, but a lot of this can be attributed to the rise in conservatism. And the other thing that I don't think a lot of people are really taking into consideration is money. If you want to get incredibly crafty, even if you're DIYing stuff, you have to have money, okay? We are literally living in a recession. If it hasn't started yet, we are right on the cusp of it. Everybody knows that this is bad, that prices are going up. Everybody knows that things are getting harder and harder, and yet it seems like nobody wants to acknowledge it. Because to acknowledge it means to acknowledge that there is a problem, and that's difficult. We have lived in a culture that stigmatizes poverty. It stigmatizes struggle. Now let's ask ourselves why that is. It's because the West, including America, has a very individualistic mindset. If you do one thing wrong, or if something goes wrong for you in whatever way, if you end up homeless, that's your fault, according to individualism. It's all on you, your choices, your actions. The problem with this is that it completely disregards any and all systematic issues that often lead people into these positions. It makes it so that everything that could go wrong is blamed on the individual. And while individual responsibility is important, we do not have any ounce of a collectivist mindset at all. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's talk about Halloween. My aunt and uncle do Halloween every single year. They have ever since my siblings and I were kids. Every single year they keep a tally of the children that go trick-or-treating, how many come to their house. The past 5 years, that number has exponentially been going down. And I know that they aren't the only ones that have been seeing less trick-or-treaters. If you don't get to know your neighbors, if you don't brave the night, then guess what? You're going to be more fearful of them, and you're not really going to know how to talk to them. But our sources of community are collapsing. We have no third spaces. We don't have malls. We don't have very many parks. Heck, it's illegal to be homeless now, because if you put a tent somewhere and you're trying to stay in that, and you're on a quote-unquote private property or whatever, and guess what? You can be pushed off. Benches and lots of buildings are built to make them, not welcoming. A lot of people will just say, well, get a better job, or get a job in the first place, even though that's incredibly difficult, especially in this job market. Once again, you know what this is? Individualism. Taking away collectivism. It's taking away the idea that we as a community should be taking care of each other. We should be looking out for one another. How often do you just see people standing around outside enjoying the fresh air? Unless there's an event going on, most people don't do that. When people are outside in the public space, that's often looked at as weird or treated with suspicion. It's like, why are they hanging around for? What are they doing? People don't walk around anymore. Now, also with this does come with, car dependency, and that also comes with the individualistic mindset. Less walkable spaces means you're less likely to find what you instantly need within walking distance. You have less of a source of community because you have to be in a vehicle by yourself, or maybe with a few family members or a couple of friends with you. It's a very small space as opposed to, going on a bus and you're surrounded by other people. And also our phones, okay? Our phones are really hype up this individualistic mindset because, there's a little box there that you can have your entire world that you want in there, and it's tailored just to you. And yes, phones have done wonderful things. I would even say, to a certain extent, I'm addicted to my phone because, well, I literally couldn't live without it, plus it's connected to my sensor, so. All of this is to stem down and say that nobody has money, okay? Nobody has money. Everybody is poor, okay? And it's going to get worse. And so we as a community need to start getting together and helping one another. We need to be looking out for one another because, in all honesty, each other is really all we have. Sure, some would argue that all you really have is yourself, which on one hand is true, but on the other hand, you need other people to survive in this society. Stop gatekeeping and please help out your neighbors.